Mayor Tom Henry.
Decision Fort Wayne. Fort Wayne's NBC News the first to call the mayor's race. Democrat Tom Henry fending off challenger Tim Smith to win a fourth term as mayor.
We have become a shiny beacon in the state of Indiana. No longer is Indianapolis the talk of our state, Fort Wayne is.
Smith conceding at Republican headquarters.
I called the mayor, of course, and congratulated him. It is quite obvious that the people of Fort Wayne are very pleased with how things are going. And that's a wonderful thing.
Our crews behind the scenes gathering reaction. And joining us live in studio for analysis are newly elected Democratic City Councilwoman Sharon Tucker and Republican Councilman Russ Yale, who won another term tonight.
A special election night edition of Fort Wayne's NBC News starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is Fort Wayne's NBC News at 11.
All of the votes are in. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Decision Fort Wayne. I'm Linda Jackson.
And I'm Tom Paul. We're glad you're here tonight. We are focused on the Fort and the races that matter to you in Fort Wayne and Allen County. We have team coverage for you tonight. Our Jeff Newmeyer is covering the Democratic Party as they react to the results of the Fort Wayne mayor's race. And reporter Corinne Rose, she's at Republican headquarters for their reaction. And finally, our Ariel Cadet will bring us results from a very close race for City Council at large. But first, the big race of the night, incumbent Democrat Tom Henry defeating Republican challenger Tim Smith and securing a fourth term as mayor of Fort Wayne.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the final results in the race for Fort Wayne mayor. Incumbent Democrat Henry securing 61% of the vote. His Republican challenger Tim Smith taking about 39%. And so you know, voter turnout is up significantly, it seems, over last time. About 31% of registered voters showed up at the polls. Compare that to about 22% in 2015, the date of the last city election in Fort Wayne. It is a sign of quite a few competitive races on the ballot for certain. Let's turn things over now to Fort Wayne's NBC reporter Jeff Newmeyer, who was at the Grand Wayne Center in downtown Fort Wayne tonight for the mayor's acceptance speech. Jeff.
Democrats gathering at the Grand Wayne Center for their election night watch party, and lots of reason to celebrate. The biggest reason, Democrat Mayor Tom Henry winning a fourth term in office, and he won going away. Mayor Henry told cheering supporters he would not say anything negative about his opponent, Republican Tim Smith, despite the fact the mayor had complained a lot about Smith's barrage of ads criticizing Henry's leadership on everything from crime fighting to controlling taxes and debt. Henry credited Smith with having the courage to run.
Not everybody can do that. So for that alone, thank you. Thank you, Tim Smith.
But did he think Smith's ads backfired?
I really don't know. There are some races where negative campaigning proves to be successful. Sometimes it doesn't.
Smith's tone was just all wrong. You can't say Fort Wayne is a hellhole when everybody thinks it's doing well. There's an old Groucho Marx joke, who are you going to believe, me or your lying eyes? People didn't believe it because they didn't feel it.
I was very disappointed in the campaign that Tim Smith ran, and I just think that Tom deserved it.
Henry said he will push local employers in his next term, if possible, to pay their workers at least $15 an hour, but rather than look too much ahead to the first 100 days of his next administration, he wants really to reflect on a very satisfying win here on Election Day. From the Grand Wayne Center and the Democrat election night party, I'm Jeff Newmeyer reporting.
All right, Jeff. Well, Henry's opponent, Republican Tim Smith, criticized the mayor on three specific issues this year: safety, infrastructure, and jobs.
Yeah, he used those topics to run an aggressive campaign in the months leading up to Election Day. Fort Wayne's NBC reporter Corinne Rose reports from GOP headquarters.
Allen County Republicans, of course, feeling the stinging defeat of Republican challenger for mayor Tim Smith. He fought such an aggressive campaign. He fought very hard, and he brought up a lot of what he said were flaws in the way that Mayor Henry has led this city. He talked about the city's increasing debt, the city's increasing violent crime rate, and the city's increased property taxes. But in the end, he said it just didn't matter to voters.
The mayor is popular, and people think the city's doing well, and I think the city's doing well in many ways. So we knew that was going to be difficult from the beginning. We opted for a strategy, thought it was going to work, didn't work.
A man of devout faith, Tim Smith thanked his wife and his family and, of course, all of his volunteers for the hard work that they did on his campaign. And he said when he called Mayor Henry to concede the race, he was very gracious and offered to help the mayor in any way he could.
I've learned a long time ago in business that servant leaders are the best leaders. And so I'm happy to serve the people of Fort Wayne. And my offer to the mayor was a genuine offer. If he thinks I can help in some way, be that job recruitment or whatever, be happy to do it.
Tim Smith says he's not sure exactly what the future holds for him. He's juggling a couple of different options right now. In fact, I think he's probably just letting it all kind of process through what's happened throughout the course of the evening. And in fact, the course of the race, it was a hard-fought primary against Republican City Councilman John Crawford as well. But he said going forward, he's not closing the door as to in 4 years whether he might run for mayor again. He says if the voters of Fort Wayne call on him to run, that's something he will definitely consider. Reporting from Republican headquarters, I'm Corinne Rose.